guess I better turn the car off. Holy moly. I'm going to give it a minute for you guys to get in here. I'm just going to do a really quick live because I am not late. I just didn't give myself a lot of extra time. So I'm not late. I'm just here. What's everybody up to this morning? Good morning, Destiny Rose. I'm so glad your heat's fixed. I couldn't imagine. It is so cold outside. Good morning, Helena. Good morning, Christy. Good to see you guys this morning. Oh, it's so cold. And I've got my Where's the Baby t-shirt or hoodie. I don't know why I said t-shirt. It's like, dude. Hey, Perplex Raven, Obsessed Mind. Good to see you guys. So, yeah. I almost don't even want to go in the direction of what happened last night. Like, I can't even believe it. And how did that interview even get set up? Like, it's negative here in Michigan. Wow. My sister was driving from Snowshoe yesterday morning and sent a text, screenshot of the weather, and it was -2. I'm like, what? It's not that cold here in Virginia Beach. We don't even have snow. We haven't had snow. Cold is the worst. It pains my soul. I'd rather be cold than really hot. Because, like, you can at least add more layers to what you're wearing. But most of the time it doesn't really help. Because, like, if it's cold, it'll be, like, it'll sting your fingers. But, if it's hot, you can't really do anything. Like, you can't get naked at work. So, I mean, I guess you could. It would just be really frowned upon. Stay warm. It's very cold here. Thank you, Total Cutie. Thank you so much. Thank you. You rock. 2 degrees here in New Jersey. 12 degrees. It's like I haven't even woken up yet. I'm like slurring my words. Lord. It's 3 degrees in PA. Wow. 82 in Miami yesterday, and today it will be 76. You guys are still in summertime mode. That's all it is. Try Goodnight app for streamers. It's fun. Okay, W. You're probably a troll. Yeah, glad to hear your heat's fixed for sure. So last night, Laura Lodge, I'm going to cut to the point. Cut to the chase. Laura Lodge, him and SF Investigates were fighting on Twitter. And so in order to squash the fighting, SF agreed to go on his panel and I guess speak on the behalf of Chris and Katie. And, oh God, it's like, where do we start? Hey, Lexi, thank you. Yes, definitely. Welcome, Total Cutie. So, yeah. SF Investigates live interview. Laura Lodge last night. It was supposed to give us some insight on... Okay, let's see. I gotta brush my hair. I can't help but to fidget and look at myself while I'm talking to y'all, and I just... Okay, no. Okay. So, for those of you guys that missed, Dolly Vision had a 6-hour live stream last night talking about this and going over it, so you'll know what I'm talking about. You can refer to that. But Laura Lodge, SF Investigates. I don't even know where to start. I would rather be talking about Michael Vaughn, Monkey Vaughn. Like, where's Michael? I need for somebody to get a hold of Brandon Shirtliff or Adrian Lucien or talk to Sarah and Stacy in jail and make them tell the truth and tell us where Michael is. But instead, we're stuck here talking about Sebastian because this is what everybody wants to talk about. And there's not anything else that's new. And then, so SF, okay, I'm going to recap. It's literally just SF Investigates talking to Lord Lodge. They were beefing on Twitter, and then they decided to go on panel together. The stipulation was that he had to donate money to the Missing Foundation, and they had that up scrolling at the bottom. I donated to it. I like the organization and what they stand for. And so they start talking, and we're expecting like this big battle because that's what they were doing on Twitter the whole time. And we didn't really get that. We just got a conversation where SF Investigates was able to say whatever he wanted to say with nobody to counter what he was saying. What state did Monkey go missing from? Idaho. Fruitland, Idaho. July 27th, 2021. It's been a long time, and we have suspects in that case that have actually confessed to knowing stuff. I don't understand how somebody confesses and doesn't have charges for their confession. It's just ludicrous to me. Absolute insanity. So let me get back to we're gonna get through this. SF Investigates, and he doesn't answer questions. So the whole stream, it's like a 2.5 hour stream. The whole time he's getting asked some questions, and he's like dancing around the question every single time. Judy Smith, he's such a beautiful little boy. Yes, he is. He's so freaking cute. I swear, Brandy makes the cutest freaking kids, because Buggy looks just like him, and he looks just like Brandy, and they all look related. I love it. It is so cute. But this poor baby, he's still not, there's no justice. There's no justice for him being gone. There's no answers. There's no, where is Monkey? Brandon Shirtliff, where is Michael Vaughn? Where is Monkey? It's just so frustrating. And then, like I said, we have to sit here and talk about Sebastian, which he's also a missing kid that deserves justice. But this is muddying the waters. This is not helping anything. We've got SF Investigates, comes up, says that he's basically paid by the Proud Pete. I'm like, you cannot be an unbiased source of information when you are getting paid. You're biased. You can't say that you're going to come up here and say how you feel and be 100% and then say, oh, they are paying me. You can't be unbiased that way. So then there's, he starts answering questions, and again, he's just dancing around every single question. So he's not really answering, but he's technically answering. And it's like, he dances around everything. Like simple questions he should have answers for. And then he goes into talking about how abuse is not abuse, and if you don't leave a mark after 2 hours, that it's not something that you should be concerned over. And I'm like, man, I wish I could have somebody come smack the shit out of him so that he could see what abuse felt like. And I'm sitting there like, this person must not have any kids. Oh, and then he said he didn't see anything wrong with the Proud Pete. There's no sign whatsoever to him of anything bad going on. He's got no clue whatsoever. Like, he's one of the 3 blind mice at the church clock tower thing. Like, he literally has he's just like nothing. Oh, and then I heard, oh my God. And then I heard somebody on Queen Bee's panel comparing Brandy Vaughn to Katie Proudfoot. No. No, 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 no. You cannot compare somebody that was last seen with their kid, last person in charge and in care of their kid, to a mother that was at work, not caring for her kid at that time, because I guarantee you, she would have not be in the situation that Katie's in, period. And for Brandy, they have 4 people who are there, like, they literally almost have the whole puzzle completed. They just don't have a body, and they don't have the exact who physically did the deed. But no, it's not your apples, oranges. No, it's not the same thing at all. You cannot say that. Yes, technically, they're both mothers with a missing little boy. That's as close as it gets to comparison. That's the same. But otherwise, nothing is the same. Now, if you find me somebody in Sebastian's case that is going to be a suspect and that's going to have the fingers pointed towards them, and there's going to be a clear and concise story as to what happened to that person in said situation, until then, you have no right to say that they're comparable other than just the basics. How do you compare one's crying and one's denying? One's not even speaking at all, period. I mean, Brandy will tell you the days, the time, the minute, every detail needed in Michael's case. As for, what day it is, and she wants Michael home, and where's Michael, and she addresses the suspects directly. She does, every single thing that I would believe I would do as a mother. But that's neither here nor there. It's just, we know what we know. We watched Stacey Wandra in jail on body cam basically admit to watching somebody bury the baby. And when he said duct tape and trash bag and just, I was sitting there like, oh my God, Brandy, earmuffs. I say that out loud to myself all the time because Brandy watches all of the stuff that has to do with Michael. So at that point in time, I knew she was watching because she just does. That's how she is. She wants to find her baby. Somebody needs to just grow a conscience, a soul. They need to freaking just give her that peace of mind. Where is her baby? Like, where's the baby? Where is him? Where is him? So, and I mean, if Katie was doing the similar type of behavior to where she was everywhere asking people where her baby is, then we could possibly compare the two. But until then, don't you dare speak Brandy's name in the same sentence as Katie. I'm sorry. Doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It's not the same. It's not. But, I'm going to close it out with this. I agree. Slim, I totally agree. KP is more comparable to Letitia Stouch, who's not even a real bio mom, a stepmom. But, simple things. And, so many people have become so emotionally overcome with this case that they can't think straight. And I was one of those people, okay? When it comes to Sebastian and having a dad, bio dad, and a stepdad, and, a parent, there's a dynamic there. We were led to believe that the 3 of them didn't communicate together, which is not true. I don't believe that. I believe Katie, Chris, Sebastian, they all somehow communicated and were parenting. I believe they all knew what was the problem. They all knew there was some type of behavioral problem because they wouldn't have been trying to put him away to a boarding school type thing had he not had any issues. What we saw on the video from Texas Roadhouse, though, however, doesn't really show that he had issues, in my opinion. But hey, it could be an issue at home. It could be, something that didn't act up that day. Just give him the benefit of the doubt. So, I always like to take myself out of my body and, like, let's say, what if I was them? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to pretend to be Katie. Give me a second. I totally just yeeted myself out of my own stream. Good times. Yeah, I totally just yeeted myself. So I just got the one main point there. That's it. I just got one last main point. Myself. If I took myself out of the equation, and let's say I'm Katie, I'm going to be missing my kid completely. Once I recognize 150% that the kid is missing, I've done called the cops, which I don't necessarily think I would call 911. I have a 13-year-old. She's capable. She's able. She can step out the door, walk wherever, and be gone. So, like, I can see where that could have been the initial thought of what happened if they didn't, in fact, do anything to the boy. But when it comes to my kid's father, we parent okay together just because it's like, okay, you do what you want, I'll do what I want, and then vice versa, and just whatever. I don't really have conversation with him, like, to confide in him. Like, I would most likely call Dolly before I would call him. I would call Dolly probably before I called the cops, because my kid is not a baby. She didn't get taken out of her playpen. She didn't, go missing without a will or a way. She's got her little debit card. Now, if she left her debit card at home, it would be, anyways. But I wouldn't necessarily think first thing like, oh, let me call my kid's father. And so at first I was like, okay, so nobody really called Seth at first, or Katie didn't really call Seth at first. I don't really see a big deal with that. And then I had to actually, like, remove myself from my emotional stance and the way I was thinking, and think outside the box and think, if I truly have no idea, like, let's say this is my daughter. Let's say Ava is missing. I've looked everywhere. What am I going to do next? I'm going to call every single friend that I have a phone number to, and then I'm going to go to their door. But before that, I'm going to call my parents, her grandparents, her other parent. Well, after I'd call Dolly, because he would probably be my first call, and he would be helping me go everywhere I needed to go to try and find her. But I would be calling her father, just because if I truly have no idea, my kid just vanished in the middle of the night and I have no clue. For all I know, she didn't go to his house. He didn't come pick her up somewhere. He didn't, drive by to check to see that our cars were in the driveway and her walk down the street and he just happened to find, like, it could be anything. If your kid is truly missing and you have absolutely no idea where the kid is at, you're going to call every single person you know to ask them, hey, have you seen her? Have you seen him? Did they possibly come to your house for whatever reason? Did you take them from me for whatever reason? They're missing. And that's one of the things that she didn't do. That she didn't do that. And no matter how volatile their relationship may or may not have been, the only reason not to do that is if you know that the kid's gone and you know where they went. Because if you're not wondering where they're at or who they're with, then you know where they are. Does that make sense? But I was one of the people. Originally that was like, okay, well, I wouldn't call my baby dad. But I would. Because if I don't know where my child truly is, I'm going to call everybody. I'm going to call the Pope. I'm going to call everybody. Do you have my kid? Where is my kid? Did you take my kid? And if I was a parent and my significant other was home at the time or whatever, and that's where they were, okay, it would be me talking to my significant other. I don't know what you were doing while they were here and now they're not. So, like, where did you put my kid? I would be talking to my other my significant other, like, where did you put my kid? And that's not happening here. So bottom line, however much y'all people hate Seth, which I dislike Seth and all his behaviors and his personality, we don't mesh. He's not for me. But he's got nothing to do with the disappearance of his kid. He was not home. Just like everybody says, Chris wasn't home. I don't say the same for Chris because, like, I think that he possibly could have been directing things on the phone, but I don't know. As for him being home, he's not home. So, that's all that I had to say, you guys. I gotta go into work. Catch you on the flip side. Bye,